We've all read a host of different books in our childhood, and a lot of these characters in the books were menaces, including No David, Big Nate, Harold and George, and there's one more that surpasses all of these. Yeah, sure, David might be a menace, okay? Look, don't get me wrong, but this character is the biggest menace of all time. Greg Heffley. Most people have read Diary of a Wimpy Kid. He was a generational menace for the youth. Throughout my years of reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I never really paid attention to how Greg truly acted. I had no idea. I was like, oh, I feel bad for Greg. I just thought he was the protagonist. But no. Greg is a villain. Don't get it twisted. He is doing people so foul in these books, man. I don't know how me, years ago, let this slide. I have no idea. Or maybe I just didn't understand. But there were a lot of dark intentions behind this egg-looking ass motherfucker with the most emotionless frown I have ever seen. I'm starting to think that this dude has no emotion. Like the way he be acting in these books. Where do we even start? Like, goddamn, I don't even know. But I guess we could start with the time where Greg and Rowley were outside playing football. And Greg got the bright idea. He's like, yo, Rowley, we should do some stunt where you ride your bike down the hill and I throw the football at you. He's like, okay, that's a great idea. And that's what Rowley does. He rides up the hill and he makes some excuse as to why he can't do it first. And all of a sudden, Greg throws the football with the most precise aim of all time. Like this dude looked like he knew what he was doing. All right, maybe not, but Greg he's going D1 quarterback right here. He throws it right at the front tire of Rowley's bike and he goes flying off the bike and lands on the ground and breaks his arm. And some of you might be like, oh, well, Greg did this on accident. You know, it's okay. You know, we all make mistakes. This dude said, come on, Rowley, get up. Rowley, come on. And this dude was just on the ground in pain because he broke his arm. And this dude didn't even care. He didn't even say, hey, Rowley, are you okay? No, nothing. This dude just said, shake it off. That's crazy. And no, it does not end there. The story does not end there. When Rowley got a cast, he was getting attention from all the girls, man. Like, Rowley was pulling crazy. But not only is Greg a menace, but he is also a simp. He's down bad as fuck. So do you want to know what Greg does? When the girls are signing Rowley's cast and stuff, he says, yeah, guys, I was the one who broke his arm. Like, bro, no one cares that you were the one that broke his arm. If anything, that makes you look so much worse. Why would you even say that? Greg Heffley is lost at this point. It's over. There's absolutely no saving this guy. Like, come on. Now, this dude Greg is always pulling pranks on Rowley. And not only did he break his arm, he broke his whole goddamn foot as well. When he noticed Rowley was walking down the stairs and he would always kick this pillow when he was walking down, right? He decided to put a dumbbell underneath the pillow so Rowley would kick the dumbbell. Now obviously Rowley kicks it full force because he thinks it's just the pillow, and yeah, he broke all his toes pretty much. And this dude has got the most devious, diabolical grin on his face. Look at him. This is like the only time he smiles in the book. Like, when else does he smile besides any other time he is like terrorizing the streets? This dude's always mopey as shit unless he ruins somebody's day, which is crazy. But to be honest with you, there's problems with every character in the series, not just Greg. Like, I mean, there's a whole goddamn lore of every other character, but to be honest with you, Greg is the worst, all right? Not only is he a just complete shitty friend to Rowley, I mean, for God's sake, he made a drawing of him and Holly Hills, the girl he has a crush on, as his wife, and Rowley as a pet. Who thinks of that? Who just cooks that up? I mean, this dude's just locked in on his dream life, I don't know, with marrying Holly Hills, I guess. Because this dude simps so hard for Holly Hills. Pause. So I'm over here starting to think, how is it possible for a man to simp this much? He simps so hard to the point where he will just do the fucking worst shit that he can possibly think of just to get her attention, which is crazy. A lot of you might be thinking, oh, well, Greg Heffley, you know, he's done some good things at his church. And the only reason why he did these good things at his church? Because Holly Hills was right behind him. This dude was trying to get all that attention, make himself look like the good guy. This dude took his parents' money and put it in the collection basket. Greg, you're not slick. I'm pretty sure she's aware of the fact that you have absolutely no funds, bro. And for those of you that don't know, just for some context, you shake people's hands as like a peace offering at church. And pretty much Greg, this is like the only time this dude's just come out of the woodworks and decided to shake people's hands is when it was with Holly Hill's family, bro. Like, bro, you are a bum. Like, this motherfucker was like, well, peace be with you, Mrs. Piper Elizabeth Math. Shut your stupid ass up. Not only was he simping for her, there was this girl that Rowley got as a babysitter. This kind of goes on to the first point, that he's a fucking terrible friend. When this girl was here, he was just trying to spit game the whole time. He was kind of like Shaq from 3, bro. He was missing every single fucking time. But yet this dude was so goddamn persistent that he went to her job and was like being, I guess, her little fucking simp bodyguard. Like, I don't know what he was doing. Like, he was telling people to walk on the pool. I guess, I don't fucking know. Like, that's all he would do throughout his entire day. No, he wouldn't have fun and go swimming. No, he would just sit there with her and be like her little fucking bodyguard, I guess. I don't know. Not only does Greg miss his shots, bro, he misses his jokes. In science class, he stuck like 2 beaker things in his nose, or whatever the hell they're called. Test tubes? I don't fucking know. And he went up to one of the girls and he was like, look at me. Like, bro, shut your stupid ass up, bro. Like, you looking like a straight jit right now, bro. No girl is gonna find that attractive. But when his friend that he treats like garbage, and I'm surprised that he even has, finally got a girlfriend in hard luck, this dude was jealous. He was a bum, and he was like fucking all mad and shit about it. And he even made drawings of himself stealing his girl, which is insane. Why would one even craft this up? Like, what the fuck? Like, these books are pretty much just the mind of an insane human being, and I didn't even realize it from the beginning. I was just too young to understand. And maybe if Greg actually treated his friend right, he would have put a brother on, bro. He would have got him a girlfriend. That's what would have happened. Rowley could have been like, yo, she's got a friend, and there you go. Like, that's all he needed to do, was actually treat him with respect, but he just couldn't do that basic thing. And now Greg is not only mean to Rowley, but he's just an L person in general. Like, I don't know who would want to be around this dude. Absolutely nobody. And now this family that he's neighbors with, there's been so many situations that went down in these books. But anyways, Greg goes up to the neighbor's son and he's like, yeah, my mom told me a lot about how honesty is the best policy. And this motherfucker straight up tells this kid, you're not tall enough to play basketball, even though his dream was to play basketball. And Greg was just talking about some shit like he can't tell a lie. Like, dude, let the kid do what he wants, bro. Like, come on. Like, stop being such a bot, bro. Like, well, actually, you cannot play basketball. Like, of course he can play basketball, bro. Who cares? There's some short-ass basketball players out there. Not every basketball player's got to be as tall as Shaquille O'Neal, bro. And it's not like he has to go pro either. You know what I'm saying? This dude Greg's trying to act like this kid wants to be a #1 NBA prospect starter on the team. Like, okay, bro. It is not that serious. Now, not only did he do this neighbor dirty, but he did the whole goddamn family dirty. One time he was at this party, right? And there were deviled eggs being served at this party. And Greg took a bite out of them, but he didn't like the eggs. And instead of throwing them out like a normal human being, or just thugging that shit out and eating it, this dude literally threw the eggs away in a plant. And the plant stunk up the house, and they were trying to figure out like where the smell was coming from. They were cleaning the carpets and shit, vacuuming. They even bursted the walls open thinking there was a rodent in there that was dead or some shit. And it got to the point where they moved away and the family took the plant with them. Like, what? How can you be such a fucked up individual that you sit there and watch that happen, damn well knowing that you put eggs in a plant 2 weeks ago? And maybe that's why it smells like shit. Now, Greg, yeah, he would do some good things, like have his grandmother come over for dinner, shovel the family's driveways, or whatever the case may be. But he only did this for his relatives because he wanted better gifts for Christmas because, oh, I didn't want clothes for Christmas. This dude Greg really gotta get his funds up, bro. He is slacking badly. This dude just not thankful at all for the gifts that he does get. I mean, looks like he's got a lot of gifts here. But anyways, Greg is a menace, but he's also a bitch. Like, to make that make sense, like he's afraid of a little elf. Like, I guess he tries to be a menace, but dude, how are you gonna be afraid of an elf toy? How is that even possible? Like, you're just sitting there staring at it in goddamn fear, quaking in your fucking boots. And it got to the point where Greg started behaving when the elf was around. Like, Greg, come on. Why can't you behave all the time, bro? Now, bro wants to clear the table. Now he wants to clear everyone's plates. Like, come on, bro. But there is one individual in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series that, honestly, I think might be worse than Greg. I cannot let this motherfucker slide. There is absolutely no way I am letting bro slide. Manny. This dude looks like a goddamn mole rat. Like, I mean, can we start with that? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, look at his fucking teeth and his big ass nose. Like, this motherfucker is built so weird. Even as a kid, I had a burning hatred for Manny. Like, what the And this dude topped absolutely everything that Greg has done with this one stunt that he pulled. So the power went out in the Heffley household. Everyone was trying to figure out why. And for days, they were starving, they were cold, and they were sitting there trying to figure out what's going on with the power supply. And eventually, they found out that somebody turned off the power supply. And everyone found out it was Manny. This dude started crying and bawling his eyes out. And he was like, nobody ever taught me how to tie my shoes. That's why you shut the whole power off? Like, come on, bro. Yeah, it's safe to say this